Burnout, it's not a psychiatric diagnosis. It's technically an occupational phenomenon with work-life balance. It's different being too tired and too exhausted from what you usually do. For example, anxiety, parang feeling of worry at an extended period with functional
Impairment.
And with depression, so feeling of emptiness, hopelessness, depressed mood at a certain amount of time.
Nakaramdam ka na pagod ka kahit wala ka pang ginagawa? Pag-usapan natin ang burnout, it's more common than you think.
Lalo na sa mga high-functioning na individuals. So, laging work. So, nakakalimutan ng alagaan din yung sarili. So, minsan, kahit na nawawala yung motivation or drive mo, even though you're capable of doing the work, nawawala siya. So, technically, your work then becomes lousy kahit na you're capable to do such better work. So, dapat talaga may break. So, hindi rin naman ako, perfect. So, wow, perfect. So, I too, nababurnout ako, no? So, minsan pag nababurnout ako, umuupo ako sa tulala. And then, na-realize ko, oh, shucks, pagod ako. So, nawawala ako for like a day. Kasi, kailangan kong mag-breathe.
Iba naman ang pagod na pagod from a cardio standpoint, di ba? It's different from neurology, from psychiatry. Sa amin, pag sinabing ang tao ay pagod na pagod, we always think, nako, baka may cardiovascular disease.
Iba.
Kaya very important din talaga nagpapakonsult and then you ask different history, di ba?
Symptoms, yeah. Kasi pag cardiac kasi siya, you have other symptoms that goes with it. Ito kasi, you're just really tired from doing yung usual routine mo. So, it's different.
Talagang there are overlapping symptoms between cardio and neuro. From cardio standpoint, ang importante dyan is you look at the profile of the patient. So if this is a male, female, age niya, anong trabaho niya, what triggers na pagod, ano ba yung history prior dun sa symptoms niya na pagod, then you look at the risk. If the patient is a smoker, diabetic, hypertensive, family history as well. And if you have this risk factor and then the patient complained of pagod, then yung high risk of suspicion na maybe this is cardiovascular, nandoon. Pero kunwari mo, you've ruled out, no? These risk factors are wala. And pagod siya, then it must be something else. Kaya importante rin nagpapacheck up sa doktor, no? Whatever doctor, whether cardio yan or neuro. Kasi, and if you see there's nothing wrong, so most likely, despite all the tests being negative, baka it may not be somatic, it may be psychological. Pag somatic, it is meron kang nakikita talaga sa organic. Kasi organic sa puso, sa lungs, sa GI, sa tiyan, no? Pag lahat yun, negative, it is not somatic. So it must be
Psychiatric. So, I think the problem pag burnout, may specific trigger. Pag cardiovascular kasi, kahit na konting lakad mo lang, pagod ka na. Pero pag psychiatric, or yung burnout na yun na term, napapagod ka because of your work specifically. So, different din siya from depression. Kasi yun, hindi mo mapipinpoint yung pinaka-trigger niya. Yung burnout, mapipinpoint mo, ito yung problem.
Is there really burnt out syndrome? How is it different from being overwhelmed with stress or anxiety disorder?
Burnout, it's not a psychiatric diagnosis. It's technically an occupational phenomenon with work-life balance. It's different being too tired and too exhausted from what you usually do. For example, anxiety, parang feeling of worry at an extended period with functional impairment. And with depression, so feeling of emptiness, hopelessness, depressed mood at a certain amount of time.
Ano ba yan? Pwede ba yan all at the same time? Same time. Kasi from being burnt out, na-stress ka, nagkaroon ka ng anxiety, and eventually you develop stress. So, different levels of gravity.
It could trigger anxiety, it could trigger depression.
Oh, so it is a trigger.
Yes, but it's not a psychiatric diagnosis. You really have to find some time for yourself. Hindi lang lagi work. So you have to fix your schedule, make sure na may time for work, time for self-care.
Pag sumasakit ang ulo ng isang tao, ano bang mga sakit ang maiisip dapat natin? So number one, syempre from a cardio standpoint, headache can be a sign of hypertension. So, check mo kagad ang blood pressure. So, usually, pag mataas yan, pwede mong sabihin na ito ay dahilan ng high blood. Pero kung ibang klaseng headache at iisipin mo ay sakit sa utak, ano yun?
So usually, pwede siyang stroke, yung pagdurugo. Okay, ruptured aneurysm. Ito kasi yung pinaka-common na na-encounter ng mga patients. Okay, naririnig nila. So, minsan pag headache, pupunta yan. Nag-iisip may aneurysm. So, anything na bago dun sa utak, pwedeng bukol, pagdurugo, pagmamanas, yun po yung mga pwedeng mag-cause ng pananakit ng ulo. Pero syempre, these are the severe types of causes of headaches. Yung mga secondary headaches, we call them. Kasi may other underlying problem that is causing the headache. Pero meron din kaming primary headaches, such as yung pinaka-common, migraine. So we have migraine, tension type headaches. Hindi din natin kakalimutan to. Not all headaches are emergencies. Not all headaches are life-threatening. So again, we have to emphasize yung red flag signs ng headaches.
Paano malalaman na ang sakit sa ulo ay something serious?
So, we have red flag signs for headache. Yung pananakit ng ulo lumalala pag umiirik or nagbabalsalba. Pag nandun na yung pananakit, pagkagising ng umaga, tapos may signs ng increase intracranial pressure or pagsusuka or meron kaming findings sa mata din. Progressive, hindi nakukuha sa gamot. So, these are red flag signs. So, pag may mga ganitong pananakit ng ulo, o kaya yung mga worst headache of your life, so 10/10 sa pain scale, parang hinampas ka ng martilyo sa ulo, biglaan, you have to go to the emergency room, have yourself checked by a neurologist, and para makita natin kung ano yung current status ng
Kaya hindi dapat baliwalain ang headache. Although, very common non-specific symptoms ang headache.
Yes, common siya. Pwede siyang referred pain. Pwedeng ibang parte ng katawan mo yung may problema, tapos maakit sa ulo yung pananakit. So, yung iba, psychiatric din. Normal everything, but the psychiatric problem is causing the headache. So, if you treat the psychiatric problem, kumagaling yung headache. Pero yun nga, we watch out for the red flag signs of headache. And pag meron ito, regardless, we have to get checked by a neurologist and request for neuroimaging. Hindi dahil wala kayong kakayanan bumili ng gamot, is hindi na kayo matitreat for your psychiatric illness. So, may mga institutions that offer free medications and free psychiatric consults for you to get better. May mga facilities like NCMH that they offer free consult, free medications to patients who have psychiatric problems. So, mali yung sinasabi na, sakit ng mayayaman yan. No, you can see that in all levels of life. So, I think education na it's available dun sa mga government hospitals.
Kailangan lang ng recognition. Kasi kung hindi mo marirecognize, how can these patients go to these institutions?
We have certain patients before when I was in training na homeless but they're able to be treated as well. Majority of the patients, yung mga nakikita natin na baliw-baliw. na baliw-baliw sa kalye. Majority of them are psychiatric. That's why they ended up there. So, minsan magulat ka na napunta sila sa NCMH and then may mga families sila na nawalay sila for a long time. Kasi they don't know how to go back to their normal or to their homes.